Hey guys, welcome back. All right, today we're going to talk about episode 3 of Skeleton Crew. And I know that I'm a little bit late to the party because I was out of town. I was in Japan for the last almost 5 days. I got back today. It is 3:20 p.m. right now in California. And I actually left Japan today at 6 p.m. So I left after now in Japan. I've gone back in time, which is the weirdest thing. I landed in LA at 9:30 in the morning, left Japan at 6 p.m. today. It's so weird. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's get to Skeleton Crew. So I did get to watch it because I was in Japan. Well, technically I watched it at the premiere, but I wanted to watch it again before I did a video on it because I probably would have done this in my hotel room. I'm not going to go over any spoilers or review the show or anything like that. I'm going to talk about my experience working on the show. Now, if you saw my last video about Skeleton Crew, you know that I played a couple of the pirates. Technically, it's the same face and helmet, but different wardrobe. So I don't know. I think it's trying to be two characters. So let's say a couple pirates. And I looked for myself in the pirate scenes today, now that I had time to watch it again. And I didn't see myself. I think they only used the core group. They had a core group of pirates that they used more. And I believe that that's all that was in this episode. However, I did get to be RA7 in the droid scene when he goes to find SM-33. He goes through this droid shop and he switches on a bunch of droids. He switches on a CZ3 droid like this. They did not use mine. There was discussion about using mine because mine is very, very accurate. But they had already rigged up the one from Solo, and I don't think there was time to swap everything over. The one from Solo looks really good. It's well made, but it's really inaccurate. Like if you look at the face, the whole face from the front kind of looks right, but as soon as you turn the head is totally squished. It's really like short front to back, whereas this guy it's pretty deep. I don't think you could even put someone inside the one they made for Solo. It's so narrow from front to back. Same with the torso. Torso's kind of a weird shape. Not quite the same cuts, but then they still did the same sort of detail. It's weird. If you look at it close, it's strange. So they didn't end up using mine, but it was cool to see it set up. My friend William Miyamoto got to puppeteer that droid. So when it pops up, it does the whole thing. He was under a table all day working a little mechanism to make it pop up. And then Mike Senna was servo controlling the head. It was on a remote control, so the head turns. It was all RC controlled. And speaking of Mike Senna got me this job doing the RA7. He said, there's a scene coming up. We need a droid. Would you want to do the RA7 droid? And I said, absolutely. So thanks to Mike Senna for getting me in on that because it was it's pretty neat experience. Now, on top of just being there with my droid, which is a whole level of, for me, felt pretty special, I got to work directly with Jude Law, which is awesome. He is extremely talented, and I got to work with him before I had the costume on. He came on set, and we talked, and we worked out how we're going to do the scene, and he's like, okay, we're going to, switch the droid on, and you're going to, start up, and in the script, I guess how it was written was that the droid starts up, flails, and then he switches it off and it's shut down. That's what was initially going to happen. And he said, well, how about, we're doing that already with this other droid, and how about if instead of that, he walks off, he wakes up and he's frantic and he just starts to walk forward. He said, okay, when I do this, you just walk into me, I'll hold you off, and then I'll just step out of the way and let you walk past. So that whole thing that happens in the show was Jude Law's idea, and he's really thoughtful about those things. He's not the type of person that's trying to run the show and give a million suggestions, but if he has a good idea, he'll pitch it. And every time he did, his ideas were good. I was on set with him, not in this capacity, but around him while he was working for probably 2 weeks, and he's just so levels above professionally than some of the best actors I've been on set with before. There's been on set with some famous people who are very good actors, but Jude Law just came in very, very prepared for everything. In that whole time, I saw him glance at a script once, and I was around him the whole day. So he comes in, does these long scenes, all this dialogue, and from the beginning of the morning to the afternoon, I never saw him mess up, and it was good from the first take, and it would just get better. And the one time I saw him look at a script, it was like this. He looked at it literally this long and put it down. I think he must have been checking a name or something, so he just did it really quick and put it down. And he'd already done the scene a bunch of times, and when he did it again, he didn't change anything. So I'm assuming he was just double checking because he did it awesome. But anyway, that whole day, just getting to work with him one-to-one was a really cool experience for me. And yeah, that whole plot, the droid thing, getting pushed out of the way, was his idea, and I love it. It was really fun. And when we shot those scenes, you know, they go through and they switch on the battle droid. The battle droid breaks, and Legacy Effects did that. They find SM-33, and there's the turnaround shot where he's talking to the keeper of the droid shop, and I don't know if they reshot those scenes or not. Like, I couldn't see, because if you saw the show, you see I walked off into the background and I'm bumping into a wall, which, by the way, when I was doing it, my left arm would touch the doorway, and then my foot was kicking a box. There's some kind of box down on the ground that you cannot see in the camera. So when I'm walking up, I'm like probably a foot away from the wall that's in front of me, but my foot is hitting something down below, so I like click my foot up and do that over and over. But when they turn the cameras around to shoot the other way, I thought I was going to be done for the day. So I literally got off. I started to take parts of the costume off. And they're like, oh, we can see where the droid is now that you're doing the scene where you walk through and it's this whole thing. I had brought a stand because I thought, you know, they're going to turn the droid on and shut it back down. So I was like, okay, after they shut it down, let's put the droid on a stand and it'll just be static. But now I'm bumping into a wall over and over and over and over in the background. When they turn the camera around, they're like, oh, we can see where you'll be. So we need you in the scene. So the whole day, all I was doing is standing in the droid, walking into a wall while I filmed the scene over and over. But in the show, you only see it for a second. And then the next shots, I don't know if they cropped in on what they were filming already or if they reshot some of the stuff. I don't know for sure. It sounds like the same dialogue as when I was there, so not positive. And the alien shopkeeper, cannot remember what kind of alien that is with the weird stock eyes, but he was played by my friend Alexander Ward, who's a really great creature performer. He's been in a lot of stuff. If you've seen Westworld, those white like drone people that walk around in the robot facility or whatever, that kind of like almost looks like robotic muscle texture, no face. He played one of those, and the costumes that are there on set were sculpted on his body form. So that, just for reference, if you want to look, his name's Alexander Ward. You can look him up on IMDb. He's done a ton of stuff. Let's real quick. I pulled the scene up here. Someone ripped it. It looks way better on my TV than it does on this, but we'll go through it here and just see if I'm missing anything. So I'm gonna keep the sound down, and I apologize for the subtitles, but they're in the ripped version, so you can see me right here. Let's back up a little bit to the previous shot. So when he like walks in here, oh, it really jumped, huh? All right, let's see. There's SM-33. He's coming through the room. All right, so when he walks up, if you've seen this already, like as he's coming up, you can actually see me back here standing. I wish there was a little bit closer shots of the face of my droid. You can see me standing as still as can be right here, waiting for this whole scene to happen. I had to stand like a mannequin. And he switched on CZ3. Now, from the front, the CZ3 head isn't horrible, but you can see it's so flat, the torso and everything. And really unique, too, I'll go back to, for all my droid builder friends, the CZ3 legs were on set. I got to like mess with that costume a little bit to feel materials and things, and it's like a really like a flexible urethane or something. It's very durable. But there's the shot. So CZ3 flips on and clicks my droid on. Boop. Editor Gordon here. I put the video online and I realized that I forgot something really important, and that is that RA7, my droid, was voiced by Chris Ford, who is one of the head writers of the show, which is amazing. And I found this out randomly because at the premiere, I saw him and went over to talk to him, I said, hey, we met on the shoot, but like, not the day of the droid shoot. I think I saw him on the day when I was one of the pirates. And, we shot this 2 years ago. So I was like, oh, we met real briefly on the shoot. He goes, oh, what'd you play? And I said, I played some pirates, and then I played one of the droids. And he goes, what droid? I said, RA7 droid at the scene when he goes to save SM-33, when Jude Law goes to save SM-33. And he goes, no kidding. I voiced that droid. And I was like, no way. So that was like really random that we're meeting each other right now, which is why I think we're in the Matrix. But anyway, just wanted to put that in there before I forgot. Now, back to what I was saying before. I freak out, and this whole thing where he's pushing against my chest. I'm walking into him pretty hard, and he like is holding me. He's physically holding me, and then he like lets me go, and I go tromping off, and this droid breaks down. His head falls off. That was pretty fun to watch. And I think that legacy effects made the battle droid. And there I am walking in the back, and so right here, when I back up, my foot is kicking something. My left arm is just touching the wall, and then my foot is kicking some kind of box. Like the whole day I was using that as a reference because I couldn't see that great. It's sort of dark. And then you loads up the droid. Now, mind you, any scene where you're looking back, they had me there in the background, and I think they may have cropped in on some of the shots, but I was there like the whole day. Let's see the shopkeeper here. Here comes the shopkeeper guy. This guy, that's Alexander Ward. And yeah, so when they filmed these turnarounds, it was like, we need you here just because we can see you in the background, but I'm not in the shot there. So don't know what they did, but look at this. But yeah, and then the SM-33 that's on the cart here is the actual puppet that's in the rest of the show. They didn't swap out and make a stunt one for this scene or something. That's the actual big old amazing puppet, which is very well done. Legacy Effects did some really cool stuff to make this thing work, and I was fascinated by it all day. I was on set with this droid a lot, and I really was trying to take in everything about it because it was very cool. Maybe I'll make one for Patreon. We'll see. But anyway, that's that. I feel like I don't have too much else without boring you guys to death. So let's switch back over. And yeah, hopefully that was fun. If you find that entertaining, let me know. And I'll try to do more as episodes come out that I worked on. I'll talk a little bit about them. There's no spoilers or anything, I don't think. And there's some stuff that was shot that I won't discuss until later, if I can even talk about it. It's just stuff that was cut, that I think is interesting that they cut it. I think it was a good choice, but also it's like, wonder why. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I am jet lagged as all get out. And thanks for watching, and come back soon. I think I'm going to start doing some live streaming here while I work on things as well. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm going to try to work out a schedule and put on here so I have a reason to be here consistently. But all right, getting out of here. You kids have a good day. I said good time, good day at the same time because my brain is mush. All right, kids, have fun. Later. Bye.